Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Nimisha Jadon from School of Studies Environmental Chemistry, Jivaji University, Gwalior. Today we are going to discuss about the analysis of TSP or SPM. TSP is the total suspended particles, that is PM10, and suspended particulate matter SPM is PM2.5 under the paper of environmental analysis. The major learning objective of this module is to analyze total suspended particulate matter or the suspended particulate matter and their sampling procedure as well as the various analysis procedure nowadays developed for the analysis of PM10 or PM2.5. Here we have also included the total suspended particulate matter which previously analyzed for calculating the particulate matter present in the ambient air quality. First of all, we have started with the total suspended particles. The total suspended particles is an archaic regulatory measures of the mass concentration of particulate matter that present in community air. It was defined by the unintended size selectivity of the inlet to the filter that collected the particles. Generally, PM10 comes under this category. So, for the determination of total suspended particle, we are calculating PM10 in the ambient air sample. Unfortunately, the size cut varied with the wind speed and the direction and was from the 20 to 50 microns in aerodynamic diameter. Under the wind condition, the mass tended to be dominated by the large wind-blown soil particles of relatively low toxicity. That's why the total suspended particles collectively analyzed for PM10 as well as for PM2.5. Here we have discussed about the principle of the ambient air quality PM10. The air is drawn through a size selective inlet and through a 20 into 25 centimeter or we can say 8 into 10 inch filter at a flow rate which is typically 1132 liter per minute. The particles with aerodynamic diameter less than the cut point of the inlet are collected by the filter. The mass of these particles is determined by the difference in filter weights prior to and after sampling. The concentration of PM10 in the designated size range is calculated by dividing the weight gain of the filter by the volume of air sampled. The instrument or the equipment used for the analysis of PM10 including the particulate matter PM10 in ambient air, then the analytical balance, sampler, generally high volume sampler with size selective inlet for PM10 is required for the analysis of PM10. Automatic volumetric flow control is required for this analysis. The calibration flow measuring device to control the airflow at 1132 liter per minute and top loading orifice kit. The reagent required is the filter media, a glass fiber filter of 20 by 25 centimeter या 8 by 10 inches in size is used for the analysis. Now we come on the part of sampling. Number one is the field sampling. The tilt back the inlet and secure it according to the manufacturer's instructions. Loosen the faceplate wing nuts and remove the faceplate. Then remove the filter from its jacket and center it on the support screen with the rough side of the filter facing upwards. Replace the faceplate and tighten the wing nuts to secure rubber gasket against the filter edge. Then gently lower the inlet. For automatically flow control unit, record the designated flow rate on the data sheet. Then record the reading of the elapsed time meter. The specified length of the sampling is commonly 8 hour or the 24 hour. During this period, several readings in hourly of the flow rate should be taken. After the required time of sampling, record the flow meter reading, take out the filter media from the sampler and put in a container or the envelope PM and record it as PM10. Here in this picture, we have seen the impacted inlet type of sampler used for the PM10 analysis. You have seen that the impacted chamber which is serial wise arranged in the PM10 sampler is used because the air, when the air enter into the chamber, it is passes from all the different types of impacted chambers. That's why the large particles are settled down in the particular chamber, and it is designed to determine specifically PM10 particles, so that only those particles which are having the diameter of 10 micrometer is passes through the filter that is layered between the gasket injector. Here you have seen that at the bottom of the sampler there is the blower which maintained the constant airflow with the constant period of time, so that the filter paper only absorb the particulate matter that are having the diameter of 10 micron. In the other picture, it is a other one PM10 sampler which are having a cyclonic inlet. It have a cyclonic inlet for the fractionation and separation of the other particulate matter from the particulate matter of diameter 10 micrometer. So the air is entered in a cyclone way, so that the heavy particles are settled down at the bottom of the inlet, and only the air which carries out only the particulate matter that are having the diameter of 10 micrometer or the less than 10 micrometer is passes through the filter that is situated above the inlet. But this separator is less operated comparative to the previous one. Now we come to the part of analysis. In the analysis, number one is the filter inspection. Inspect the filter for pinholes using a light table. Loose particles should be removed with a soft brush. Then apply the filter identification number or a code to the filter if it is not numbered. The condition the filter in conditioning room maintain within 20 to 30 degrees centigrade and 40 to 50% relative humidity, or in an airtight desiccator for 24 hours. Take initial weight of the filter paper, that is denoted as WI, before the sampling. Condition the filter after sampling in conditioning room maintained within 20 to 30 degrees centigrade and 40 to 50% relative humidity, or in an airtight desiccator for 24 hours. Take final weight of the filter paper, which is denoted as WF. Now we discuss here the determination method of PM10. For that, first of all, one should check the filter paper for any physical damage, then mark identification number on the filter, then condition the filter in the conditioning room or the desiccator for a 24-hour period, then record the initial weight by using the balance, physical balance, then place the filter on the sampler and then started the sampler for the 8 hours. Record the flow rate on the hourly basis and remove the filter from the sampler after completing 8 hours monitoring. Then keep the exposed filter in a proper container. Then record the total time of sampling and the average flow rate. Again, this filter paper is conditioned in the conditioning room or the desiccator for the 24 hour. Then record the final weight of the filter paper. Then calculation of the concentration of PM10 is done in microgram per meter cube by differentiating the weight, final weight minus initial weight of the filter paper. Now we discuss about the calibration. The periodical calibration of the sampler is being done by orifice. Transfer standard. The PM10 sampler calibration orifice consists of a 3.175 cm diameter hole in the end cap of 7.62 cm diameter by 20.3 cm long hollow metal cylinder. This orifice is mounted tightly to the filter support in place of the inlet during calibration. A small tape on the side of the cylinder is provided to measure the pressure drop across the orifice. A flow rate of 1132 liter per hour, the orifice typically result in a pressure difference of several inches of water. The relationship between pressure difference and flow rate is established by a calibration curve derived from measurements against a primary standard such as a Roots meter at standard temperature and pressure. Flow resistances that simulate filter resistances are introduced at the end of the calibrator opposite the orifice by a set of perforated circular discs. The top loading orifice kit calibration setup is done by this process. Here you have seen the calibration setup of the ambient air sampler, where in the first picture the various types of the mounted plates are used, which is most resistant to less resistant, so that we have applied the various types of plates for check the calibration of the sampling system. Here in the second picture is the top loading orifice kit you have been seen here, that this top loading orifice kit is mounted at the upper surface with the various types of glass filter having a different pore size, and here in the side a pressure tap orifice are present there, which measure the pressure drop time to time. Then when we applied these types of resistance plate, so the suction capacity of the sampler is identified and the instrument is calibrated time to time by using such methodology. Now the calculation is done by the equation PM10 in microgram per meter cube is equal to Wf minus Wi into 106 divided by V, where CPM10 is equal to concentration of nitrogen dioxide in microgram per meter of cube. Wf is the final weight of the filter in gram, and the Wi is the initial weight of the filter in gram. 106 is the conversion of gram to microgram, and V is the volume of air sampled in meter cube. Now we discuss about the determination of PM 2.5 in ambient air. The method is used is known as gravimetric method. PM 2.5 refers to fine particles that are 2.5 micrometer or smaller in diameter. The ambient air is defined as any unconfined part of the Earth's atmosphere that the surrounding outdoor air in which humans and the other organisms live and breathe. FRM is known as the Federal Reference Method, and FME is known as the Federal Equivalent Method for the determination of PM 2.5 in ambient air. The principle of determining PM 2.5 is including an electrically powered air sampler draws ambient air at a constant volumetric flow rate of 16.7 liter per meter cube, maintained by a mass flow by volumetric flow controller coupled to a microprocessor into specially designed inertial particle size separator, that is cyclones or impactors, where the suspended particulate matter in the PM2.5 size ranges is separated from collection on a 47 mm polytetrafluoroethylene filter PTFE filter over a specified sampling period. Each filter is weighed before and after sample collection to determine the net gain due to the particulate matter. The mass concentration in the ambient air is computed as the total mass of collected particles in the PM2.5 size ranges divided by the actual volume of air sampled and is expressed in microgram per meter cube. The microprocessor reads average and stores 5-minute averages of ambient temperature, ambient pressure, filter temperature and volumetric flow rate. In addition, the microprocessor calculates the average temperatures and pressure, total volumetric flow for the entire sample runtime and the coefficient of variation of the flow rate. The material required for the analysis of PM2.5 including the sampling equipment designated as FRM, that is Federal Reference Method, or FEM, that is Federal Equivalent Method, and then certified flow transfer standard. Certified standards for pressure and temperature is optional, and the electronic microbalance with a minimum resolution of 0.001 milligram and a precision of plus minus 0.001 milligram supplied with a balance pen. The microbalance must be positioned on a vibration damping balance support table. The calibration weights utilized as mass reference standards should be non-corroding, range in weight from 100 mg to 200 mg, and be certified as traceable to NIST mass standard. That NIST is known as National Institute for Standards and Technology. The weights should be ASTM class 1, where ASTM stands for American Society for Material Testing, and class 1 category with a tolerance of 0.025 milligram. Non-serrated forceps for handling filters. Now we discuss about the sampling and analytical procedure. First, the calibration and the performance check of the sampler is carried out similarly as with the PM10.5. Then, selection and procurement of the filters. The quality of filter papers to be used should technically meet the desired specifications. It is preferable to prepare the estimate for whole requirement and order the same in bulk with the request to supply the same batch or lot of filters to control analytical quality and blank values. Then electrobalance controls and calibration and shipment of pre-weight filter. Here we are discussing about the field sampling. On the field data log, fill in the top portion of the form including the date, time of visit, the site identification, sampler identification, site name, filter ID number, sample start and stop time, date and time, and the field operator initials. To perform QA QC checks or to maintain maintenance, it is a requirement to maintain the all log data table for the field sampling. Then record all maintenance activity in the field logbook including time, date and any concern that might affect the quality of the sample. Remove the filter to be installed from its protective filter cassette carrier. Then fix the filter following manufacturer instruction into the place against the bottom of the VINS impactor. Check the system clock and make sure it is within 1 minute of NIST time. Then recording the sample and the data from completed sample run. The next is calculation and reporting of mass concentration. The equation to calculate the mass of fine particulate matter collected on a Teflon filter is as below. M2.5 is equal to MF minus MI milligram into 103 microgram, where M2.5 is equal to total mass of fine particulate collected during sampling period in microgram. MF is the final mass of the conditioned filter after sample collection in milligrams, and MI is the initial mass of the conditioned filter before sample collection in milligram, and 103 is the unit conversion factor for milligrams to microgram. Now here we discuss the measurement of PM 2.5. First of all, for the measurement of PM 2.5, check the filter for any physical damages. Then mark identification number on the filter. Then condition the filter in conditioning room or the desiccator for 24 hours. Then record the initial weight by using the microbalance. Place the filter paper on the sampler and then run the sampler for 8 hours. Then record the flow rate on hourly basis. After the 8-hour, remove the filter from the sampler and keep the exposed filter in a proper container. Then record the total time of sampling and average flow rate. Again, condition the filter in conditioning room or the desiccator for the 24 hours. Then record the final weight. Calculate the concentration of PM 2.5 in microgram per meter cube. In this figure, we have seen the schematic diagram of a single channel PM 2.5 FRM sample. The figure shows a single channel PM 2.5 FRM, that is Federal Reference Method sample. This is other type of particulate matter sampler whose efficiency is less than the other two, so it is not widely used. Now we discuss about the interferences and the artifacts. The potential effect of body moisture or oils contacting the filter is minimized by using non-serrated forceps to handle the filters at all times. This measure also moderates interference due to static electricity. Teflon filters accumulate a surface electrical charge which may affect filter weight. The static electricity is controlled by treating filters with a static master, the static charge neutralizer prior to the weighing. The placement of filters on a static master unit is required for a minimum of 30 seconds before any filter can be weighed. The moisture content can affect the filter weight. The filters must be equilibrated for a minimum of 24 hours in a controlled environment prior to pre and post weighing. The balance room's relatively humidity must be maintained at a mean value of 45 plus minus 5%. Its air temperature must be maintained at a mean value range of 25 degrees centigrade, and the airborne particle can adversely affect accurate mass measurement of the filter. The filters undergoing conditioning should be placed within an airflow path created by air conditioning, ductwork, computer printers, or frequently open doorways. The cleaning laboratory, bench tops, and the weighing areas daily installing sticky. The floor mats at doorways entrance to the balance room and wearing clean lab coats over regularly. Clothing can further minimize dust contamination. Now we discuss here precision and accuracy of the air sampling. The performance segment of the PM 2.5 FRM, that is Federal Reference Method, specified strict guideline for controls that must be observed, as well as the range of precision and the accuracy of control. The flow rate through the instrument is specified as 16.67 picometer per 1 meter cubes per hour. This flow must be volumetrically controlled to a precision of 5% and an accuracy of 2%. The flow control must be upgraded at least every 30 seconds and recorded every 5 minutes. Barometric pressure, ambient temperature and the filter temperature should be measured on the same schedule. Filter temperature must not exceed the ambient temperature by more than 50 degrees centigrade for more than 30 minutes. A fan blowing filtered ambient air through the enclosure provides the necessary cooling effect. It is necessary for the entire apparatus to provide accurate performance over a temperature range of 20 to 50 degrees centigrade. The supporting runtime interval data, which are stored in detailed 5-minute intervals in the sampler's microprocessor, as well as 24-hour integrated performance of filter data, must be capable of being extracted at the completion of a 24-hour run. The FRM mandates the provision of an SR232 port for this purpose. Data may be extracted to a portable computer. The mass of the filter deposit, flow rate through the filter and the sampling time have typical precision of plus minus 0.2 milligram, plus minus 5% and plus minus 30 seconds respectively. These uncertainties combine to yield a propagated precision of approximately plus minus 5% at 10 microgram per meter cube and approximately plus minus 2% at 100 microgram per meter cube. The next is the siting requirements. The sampler should be sited to meet the goals of the specific monitoring project. For routine sampling, the determined compliances with the National Ambient Air Quality Standard, that is NAAQS, and the sampler siting is described in CPCB guidelines shall apply. The monitoring should be done at outside the zone of influence of sources located within the designated zone of representation for the monitoring site. Height of the inlet must be 3 to 10 meter above the ground level and at a suitable distance from any direct pollution source, including traffic. Large nearby buildings and trees extending above the height of the monitor may present barriers or deposition surfaces for particulate matter. Distance of the sampler to any airflow obstacle, that is buildings, must be more than 2 times the height of the obstacle above the sampler. There should be unrestricted airflow in 3 of 4 quadrant. Certain trees may also sources of PM in the form of detritus, pollen or insect parts. These can be avoided by locating sampler by placing them greater than 20 meter from the nearby tree. If located sampling has to be performed, the minimum distance between two sampler should be 2 meter. Now we discuss the calculation part. The equation to calculate the mass of the fine particulate matter collected on a Teflon filter is calculated by M 2.5 is equal to MF minus MI milligram into 103 microgram, where M2.5 is the total mass of fine particulate collected during sampling period in microgram. MF is the final mass of the conditioned filter after sample collection in milligram. Mi is the initial mass of the conditioned filter before sample collection in milligram, and 103 is the unit conversion factor for milligrams to microgram. So in this module we have learned more about the sampling and the analysis of TSPM or the SPM. TSPM stands for the total suspended particulate matter and would essentially be the concentration one would get when the high volume bulk sampling is done on the filter substrate. And the SPM is that fraction of the TSPM which is readily inhaled by the human through their respiratory system, and in general considered as the particulate matter with their diameter less than 2.5 micron. Nowadays, people are much more concerned about the PM 2.5 particles because these particles interfere with the inhalation tract, and these are the main reason of bronchitis and other diseases related to the air pollution. The large particles would be filtered in the nasal tract, and PM10 is subset of TSPM and stand for the particulate matter with the aerodynamic diameter less than 10 micrometer. For the analytic purposes, PM10 or PM 2.5 are more attract the concentration of the agencies which are working on the field of pollution check or pollution abatement. So because these are the main reason of human respiratory problems. Thank you so much.